Got it.
Tom and
So,
Oh, that's
The,
yeah.
I pledge allegiance to
the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
well, we'll call it 6 after 6. That's not too bad for 6 o'clock.
So, being that, as it may be, I'd like to make an announcement that Jennifer Ham called me today and said that she will not be joining us on the board.
So that's two
Because
of
of-
them.
There's two of them then, because I got contacted this morning by Abigail Rooney, who said she's withdrawing as well.
Yeah. So an employment opportunity came up.
Oh, yes.
So.
What's more important?
I know, right?
Get your priorities straight.
That you start eating regular at an early age, and it's a hard habit to break. Yeah.
So
Um,
Jennifer and Abigail have withdrawn.
Yes.
So that leaves. I do not have paperwork. Dennis advises me that Jeremy also has a letter or verbal request, which I have
I received last month.
I have not seen. That and
Oh, the letter for this
Letter
position?
for the applicant, yeah, to apply.
He sent
for-
the letter of interest
Yeah.
Yes.
via email to everybody,
Yeah.
and
which I have to say I have a,
last night, as part of the Selectmen's meeting under public comment, I noted our meeting again, that we would be interviewing prospective members, and those who are interested in coming should come. That having been said,
Is that your? Right. So.
Bob
Can
Carrier.
I stop you for a second?
Yes.
Is someone taking minutes here?
That, well,
Bob is.
there's
Bob is?
Um,
Trying to do both.
we're just so we are. Maureen just a minute ago said, "Do we have an agenda for tonight's meeting?" And I said, "Just cross out the date on the one for April or May, and you'll be right on target." The additional thing, which is new business, but Stan is right on target. I was talking to Bob last night, Carrier, as he was at the meeting. I asked him if he would be coming. Yes, and we discussed our present lack of a recording secretary, and as an elected board, it is my feeling that we, as long as we are not paying for something, can set the terms of service that any individual is providing to us as we want, as long as it meets the legal requirements for minutes for the committee. Bob said that he would come, that he did find his tape recorder, and that he would take that sounded exactly like Avon.
I sell you one.
And that he would take minutes, and I don't know what the structure is for getting a new formal.
It's been posted.
It's been posted.
Yes, for both the BOS and the Budget Committee.
Okay. So absent that, I would at least like to have agreement from the committee that Bob, as a community volunteer and past chair and light behind the eyes, will take the minutes for tonight's meeting. Agreed?
I agree. I don't think we need to make a motion.
Okay. Yep. And just consensus is the easiest way
Okay,
to.
with that said though, are we gonna make an attempt to fill the open position
Oh,
tonight?
yes. That's the next point. The question is, We have Jennifer is no longer available. Abigail is no longer available. When Jeremy was town administrator, he was a courteous and effective help to me in sending out the minutes. And as I said to you last night, Doug, my apology through him for not getting you on the list of regular contact for the minutes. He did do that. I think it would be a very awkward thing to have him on board the committee, even with good budget skills and a knowledge of stuff, because there is still too much current history dealing with the town, and that's a structural thing. So, do you guys, which has become a generic rather than a
I've been
thing.
all far worse.
Yeah. Do you think we are enough of a quorum that we represent the interests of the board and can take a vote to bring a new member on board?
Oh,
The only person not here would be persons not here. I've not heard from either one of them. Would be
Caitlin and Tom.
Caitlin and Tom, they're both elected.
Yeah.
As opposed to a
Yeah,
party
that's okay.
representative.
Anybody who is a member, a vote to bring on a new member is not restricted just to the general
Yes,
elected.
point that out.
elected
Anybody know
members.
how Lou's doing?
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday, she's doing okay.
Yeah.
I just got a text from Caitlin saying, I'm not gonna make it tonight, please tell Larry I'm sorry, and then I'll call him tomorrow.
Okay, well, I got mixed emotions on this for a couple of different reasons. One, I very much believe that, you know, if someone's interested in a position, they should be here. A, to show their interest in the,
Mhm.
lack of better words, fight for the position. All right. On the other hand, I also feel that there's really nothing happening, and I'd like to have Tom and Caitlin have their 2 cents in this. I don't know, and like I said, I'm going back because I don't think it's fair to Bob. He's been here every time. He's applied for the position. He's here. So I'm really going back and forth on this. I don't know what I really want to say on this because I want to be fair and do the right thing. But what is fair and the right thing right now?
Maureen.
I seem to remember discussion, isn't there a requirement to fill the positions before March, and we put that off last time, thinking we'd be able to do it today?
Yes and no.
The fabled, mythical, and carved in stone bylaws say that we're supposed to be done with this entire process, I think, by April
Well,
30th.
let me finish that question.
Yeah.
If I remember, and I haven't, I don't know, I may be remembering incorrectly, but weren't we gonna send letters to everybody who was interested and invite
Yes.
them to this meeting?
Yes.
Then I say we move forward with it. If they were sent a letter saying that we were gonna move forward with this, then they were notified and.
And also I have been quite regular in the selectmen's meetings, advising again of the opening and inviting anyone to come forward.
I mentioned it as well. I mentioned it as well too
Yeah.
last night
Well.
about tonight's meeting.
That, well,
It
let's,
would be nice to have all the members here, but,
1, 2.
Like I said, I'm mixed on it.
yeah,
I mean, I don't expect, if I couldn't make it tonight, I wouldn't expect the board to stand still because I couldn't make it.
exactly.
But I'm worried about the people that didn't make it and taking their 2 cents. But also, you know,
Well, let's do it this way. On a straw poll, we are absent Stan. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I can only weigh in my opinion. I believe I should abstain from it. If we're looking at Mr. Bourgeois.
Oh, no, we're, okay. From my point of view, we have one candidate. One candidate who has come, who meets the test of experience, who meets the test
Agreed.
of team player
Agreed.
and the rest. So on a straw poll basis, what I'm trying to do is, even if Caitlin and Tom were to say no, and if you were to say no, do we have agreement of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that Bob would be?
Well, I'm gonna make a motion
Okay.
that we accept Bob as to fill a vacancy.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. We have 2 seconds.
That way we
Then,
can open it up for official
Which
discussion.
one's gonna be this? Who got the second?
Mike got the second. Okay, so that opens it up for discussion. Stan raises good points regarding an opportunity for everybody to discuss. I have enjoyed working with Bob. I like his dependability. I like his handwriting when I can read it. I'm sure he would say the same.
But
same
with that
for
said,
me.
no matter what happens tonight, we're still gonna not require someone on the board to do the minutes.
No, my hope is that next time around, we will be up to speed. Things will be in place. The selectmen will be happy. They will have a new town administrator, and we will have someone of a competent use as our recording secretary, who will take care of getting the agendas out, who will keep the school board in the loop. So, any other discussion on that? Then, the motion is to appoint Bob Carrier to fill the vacancy on the budget committee until the March 2017 election. So we have moved, second, discussion ended. On the vote, from my right, Dennis,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Stan,
No.
Larry, Mike,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
and chair votes with the majority.
Should have asked anybody want to ask me any questions, if you're gonna do that. It's kind of late now, but most of you know how I stand on a few things, but you should have read the letter, because right now, we're on the default budget. We're gonna have to look for some savings somewhere. And that's all I'm gonna say, is that I'm gonna take a second look at everything.
Well, with that said, Bob, I'd like to explain why I said no. And you and I have sat on this board for quite a few years in a row.
No, I understand.
And we, even though there's many things I do enjoy, and I think you do a very good job at, there's a lot of things that we just don't agree on. And I still get worried about things, and I'm not, maybe you'll prove me wrong this year. I hope you do.
No, I'll tell you something, Stan, I've learned a few things from you, so I'm open to all this
I
stuff.
can't run as fast as I used to, so if that's,
Well, we made a few surprises last year, and we had a historical moment, and
well, we'll see what happens.
there's a lot of work that has to be
Yeah.
done.
No,
The only thing is, Mr. Chairman, before you finish, who's Jen and Abigail?
Jennifer Ham,
Is she the,
Ham, and Abigail Rooney,
are
Rooney,
these the people that were?
have each withdrawn.
Okay,
sure.
Abigail, what's the last name?
Rooney,
I don't know how to spell it.
Rooney.
Okay.
French.
Okay.
I don't think
Very good. Yes. I always thought NATO was Scottish myself.
No dough?
No dough.
No dough.
No dough.
Need more money, no dough.
But,
Did I give you?
Okay, so since that's done, Mr. Chairman, are we gonna proceed forward with the vice chair?
that, yeah, I think it would be nice to get some stuff knocked down. We've got, do the members want to introduce themselves? We've,
It does.
the election of officers. Talk to me.
Oh, I can't do it.
Sure you can.
I can't, election, I thought you meant doing it as a.
No, you
Oh.
can, sure, you can speak to what you think's useful.
Oh, but I'm saying I can't fill the position.
No.
Next year will be different because I won't be in the water district next year. I'll run and be on the board, elected again, but, again, we've had this discussion.
No.
I don't think it's right to put it on someone that's new to the board. There, it doesn't sound like much, but it is quite a bit, especially with someone that's just trying to get their feet wet. I think if you go to someone who's been on the board a year, like Maureen,
Nope. Nope.
take one for the team, Maureen.
Nope.
I can't do it, Doug can't
I already
do it.
took one for the team, that's why I'm sitting here.
Very good,
36
very,
votes
very
later.
good. Our,
So basically, our options would be Bob, because he has that history, would be Tom. He has like 3 years on the board, right? 2.5 years?
this
He
is,
was, no,
one
he was a
year.
little bit less than me.
He has 1 year.
yeah.
I guess
So
I'll
he's
take- I thought he had a
eligible.
little more.
No, he took Jennifer Crone's position.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if in fact we would have asked Bob to do the co-chair, it was a problem last year, would that be a problem this year? Because I don't want to put anybody in a position they're uncomfortable.
You probably have to take minutes at the time, it's not so bad. It's when you're chair, when during the budget season, where a lot of emails are coming from the town administrator or the school, I have to get them out, and I have to maybe change schedules, which makes it more
Okay,
difficult.
well, with that said, I'll make a motion for Bob to be the vice chair.
There's a second. More, very good, Maureen.
I feel like now I jumped on that.
Ah,
Oh, so
welcome.
it's
You want to do a roll call?
welcome. I'm sorry, I did not realize that you would be coming, or I would have run things slower.
Oh.
That in your absence, with Jennifer Ham, Abigail Rooney, both bowed out. We had a discussion as to the time frame and recent history that we would make it difficult for Jeremy to serve, and that left Bob. Stan suggested we wait to give you a chance to sign on with your opinion. Did not hear you were coming. We took a vote. Bob is on board, and we can theoretically, you're not supposed to be able to vote if you were out of the room when the question was put. However, the question has not been put. It has been moved and seconded. We are in discussion on having Bob take over as vice chair. And you
Although you were almost voluntold.
but if-
Vice Chair, to get
if
you
you-
5
if you
minutes
had-
late, that's
Yeah.
good.
if you had walked a little slower,
Maureen really wanted it, but we said no.
I arm wrestled Bob.
there's, I was looking at, there's one of the news magazines has a little series of quotes, and Joe Biden, the vice president, has the easiest job in the world. All he has to do is say, "How are you today, Mr. President?"
Okay, so let's call the vote before we forget.
Okay, so the question is, shall we elect Bob Carrier as vice chair for the Budget Committee? Discussion is ended, so...
I got a question, Mr. Chair.
No, discussion is still open.
Could he be sworn in by our selectmen?
Yes.
Oh, before, gotcha.
Thank you for bringing your brain with you.
I'm gonna
Get it out of the way.
put that stuff myself.
Thank you, Doug.
It's gotta be in here, because there's no money in here. Sorry. Okay, raise your right hand, Bob. I
I, Bob Ferrier,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge, perform
discharge, perform
all the duties incumbent upon me,
all the duties that
incumbent
are
upon
coming
me,
upon me
as a,
as a budget committee member,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeable to the rules and regulations
agreeable to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws
of the constitutional
Of the
laws
state
of the state of New
of
Hampshire.
the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Bob.
Congratulations, Bob.
Now I'll call the vote. Before we forget.
The Budget Committee thanks the school district for their input. Okay, then we're up to speed. Thank you. Vote from my right. Dennis.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes.
And the chair votes yes, with the majority, unanimous. Okay, let's see if we can get things now. I would like to delay going over the bylaws because Caitlin had some particular points that she wanted to make, and she is not here. So if there's no objection,
Well, with that said, as long as we do address it at the very next meeting. 'cause
Yes.
That also has a statute saying that we're supposed to have them.
and I think it was Caitlin who said, with that wonderful sharp-eyed smile, that the old bylaws will just roll on like the river until we do change them. So we're still covered. That brings us to item 2, which would be old business. Do you wish to take any action on the minutes, or do you want to wait until we have the full board back for that?
Did everybody read them?
The only major error I saw was just that Abigail's name was rendered as Looney rather than Rooney. So
Could be problematic.
we can you can
Well,
correct.
if everybody's
correct
read
that.
them, then I think we should get it done.
Okay, and is there then a motion to approve the minutes of May 17th, or was it 21st?
17.
Pardon?
17.
It was the 17th. The minutes of May 17th.
I'll make a motion to accept them as written.
With-
Well, no, with the correction of her name.
With the correction. Second
Sure.
by Maureen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
I am
Abstain.
Okay. Two
So 3
abstentions.
abstentions.
So that takes care of the minutes, and that moves us on to the board of Selectmen. Rep.
So today, a email should have gone out to all the department heads to start preparing their budgets for this year. Yesterday, we signed all the paperwork, financial paperwork for the new fire station.
Do you happen to remember the final interest rate, 2.97?
2.97.
2.97, with about $600,000 in interest, with a savings of $300,000 by switching to the 16-year rather than the 20-year, which I think is the question that you had from last month.
So, let's talk about some savings. You all know about the WEX program. So from May 1st to May 30th, there was a consumption of fuel purchased in the amount of $38.42. With the WEX program, $2,168.48 were the savings from that. You all got a copy of these budgets here. Any questions on this? And I'm gonna tell you right now, still, in the absence of a TA, we have some town staff working on this. So there still might be some housekeeping issues in here.
Well, I had a request last meeting on the, what we're paying Barron Brothers.
Yeah,
and-
sure, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So, what I found out was, we're paying Barron Brothers approximately $800 a year. And that's to take all the leaves, shavings, things of that sort, no brush. There was a question, why can't we do it down at our own? Number one, there's no room down there. There's a big process for composting, which would take town guys to man that. Also takes, you have to introduce hydrogen into it as well. And just to have it sit down there, well, that would kind of be like a landfill.
Oxygen?
Hydrogen. Yeah, it's introduced into the compost.
Fascinating.
So, and as far as leaving it down there, just having it build up, that would be constituted as a landfill. And that's not gonna happen while I sit in the seat.
Well, you can have multiple different types of compost. You don't have to introduce hydrogen to it, and that speeds up the process of
Mhm.
aging.
It still has to be manned to
Right,
use
so,
that.
but
So,
every weekend when I go to the dump, recycling center, I should say, the loader's sitting there. I mean, I don't see why they can't turn it with a loader and stuff. The $800 is not a huge savings, but it's the other end of it too. The people can use it in their gardens or whatever. I really strongly believe.
I would say that over the course of a year, that you would easily spend $800 manning that up at the DPW.
How's that?
Between equipment, fuel, and man-hours doing that.
Man-hours are already paid. I mean, in between cars and stuff, I disagree with you.
No,
There's a reason why most other towns do it,
Mhm.
and I don't see why we shouldn't do it. And it'd be a benefit to the residents to use it, their gardens, whatever they choose to. I think we need to put more research into this. Again, it's not a huge savings, $800, but it is a savings, and it is something that'd be a benefit.
Mm.
I got a similar sort of related question or idea, however you want to say it, to this. I know I heard last night on the video that you're in transition from using Lockhart Field to the elementary school field. And my question was, what is that Lockhart Field being utilized for once they moved the baseball
I
field?
don't think there's been any discussion about that yet.
Because wouldn't that be an issue or an idea to use that former landfill as a compost field? I don't know, I've never been there, I'm just asking. Or to use that for other, I'm just saying, I know it's a town asset or a liability, however you want to look at it.
There's history there, yeah. So I don't think there's been any discussion on what the future use for that field is going to be.
So,
It is a capped landfill, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah,
so couldn't,
it's
for the sake of
yeah.
conversation, not any decision making, for the sake of conversation, couldn't that be transitioned over to a compost?
Now you'd have to drive the vehicles
Okay.
over there.
No, I'm just trying to utilize.
Take the men off the site and bring them over to another site. So
Okay, I just want to,
I don't think that would make
I don't want to
sense.
see an asset go to waste. That's-
Does, which side of the railroad tracks is Lockhart on?
the north side.
No, sir, across from,
No. The railroad tracks
Oh.
go in front of the recycling. Do the railroad tracks go behind Lockhart Field? So you would not be able
To cross.
to cross,
Correct.
and it would be more than $500.
no, but the issue here too is that you're asking every resident to go all the way over to Farmington, and you talk about expense, and then they're not even open on Saturdays when I went over there.
They're
last-
open. Yeah, they're open Saturdays now. During the
No.
winter time, they
Not-
shut their hours
In
down.
the fall, when the leaves are falling, I had a whole trail I went over, they were closed. I don't think, the taxes that people pay in this town, I think we ought to offer little things like this, and it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. The loader's sitting there every Saturday when I go to the landfill. again, recycling center, and it takes 2 minutes to go roll it over. You don't have to have it introduce hydrogen. It takes a lot longer for it to do its thing, I agree, but there's things we should offer the people and they'll use it. You had someone sitting here last night saying that the town he lived in prior, they used to sell it, because they liked it so much. But these little things is what's gonna make a difference for this little town. And asking someone to take, their leaves and go all the way to Farmington, I feel is an undue burden. I really do. I mean, I have a pickup truck with a trailer. It's not that big of a deal, but a lot of people don't have that. They've got a couple bags at a time. If we can't just turn a pile over, there's something wrong with us. We got plenty of room. There's plenty of room. We have all kinds of room for the equipment to put up those solar panels and everything. There's room for a compost pile.
So,
Anyway, that's something we'll look at. We can't do nothing about it right now. But
so the issues, if I'm hearing you, would be the number of people who use the service available from Barron's, the number of times the people who do use it go there, and the total volume of waste that is generated by the people from Milton who go to Barron's. If I go to Farmington and knew where Barron's is, I guess it's on Route 11.
Right.
I would identify myself
No.
as a.
no, they just tell you where to go and you just pull back and dump. I've been there 3 times.
Yeah, I as a courtesy,
I-
I go in the office and tell them I'm from Milton, and they
That-
go all back.
Is if a person drives down Route 11, turns into Barron's, wherever
Yep.
it is, how do they know that we are from Milton as opposed to Wakefield?
It's a valid point. They should be going out to the vehicle and looking to see if there's a sticker on it.
Okay.
But they
So
have not done that since I've gone there.
they are content with the process that they are using, and the town of Milton gets charged $800
A year.
a year, no matter how many people from Milton go.
Correct.
No matter what the volume is.
Correct.
Okay, good. That because I have my dead pine tree limbs are back with the rest of my dead pine trees.
They won't take that. That
Yeah,
would go here in
yeah,
Milton.
and they can just the beetles can get them in the time that they want. Okay, was there any other thing? Did you wish to speak, or is she still here, or Heather, or has she left, or did you want to speak to her? Did you want to invite
No,
her?
I'm fine. Yeah, she's our new TA. as
Yes,
assigned.
I figured that part out when you
Yeah.
introduced me. Is she here still?
I don't know, Larry.
No,
Can you go find
Did-
her?
They were walking out when I walked in.
Okay.
No. At
Maybe I don't understand the question. That's if she was here.
At ease. But if it was a convenience
Oh.
to her to introduce herself to this
Oh, I see,
committee
yeah,
while it was
yeah.
here, that would be fine.
Right.
Anything that you wanted to say about her as part of the Selectmen's report is fine with me. I can wait for any other context.
Oh, she came with an extensive background, both as a TA and HR. In fact, the town that she's leaving, Ashland, didn't really want her to leave. The reason for her move, she has no problems up in Ashland. It takes her 91 minutes to get to work in Durham, so she saves about pretty close to 40 minutes, 50 minutes for her drive one
Mhm.
way. Other than that, she did mention that she liked Milton. She's excited about coming here. So far, the people she's met and spoke with, she's really been impressed with. She's impressed about how the department heads work so well together, how the boards and committees work so well together. She's actually very excited to come aboard.
Good.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does she have a background on the municipal budget law 32?
I don't know.
Are we still having questions, Mr. Chairman, on the town
Yes.
side?
Sure.
Okay, at last night's meeting, there was a mention about the rug and replacing the rug.
Yep.
I've been giving it some thought since I didn't speak on it last night because I had mixed emotions about it last night. the way I look at it, you know, the statement was made that we have the money, we're on a default budget, but we have the money. And we're talking about $9,000 to $10,000 to replace the floors, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think that should be one of two things. Actually, three. It could actually be three things. One, it should come out of government buildings for transparency to begin with. Two, it could go on as a warrant article and this come in March. Or three, it comes out of contingency.
Yeah.
Now, I would have no problem with the contingency if it's proven that this is a health hazard. No, a trip hazard, a lot of things are trip hazards, but
Well,
I mean,
they had air quality studies done, and
Right.
carpet was mentioned.
right, so, but, I mean, I'd have no problem saying, okay, that's what contingency is all about.
Mhm.
Like when we fixed the front steps back about 6, 7 years ago, it was a safety issue, and I have no problem with that. But I don't think we should just say, well, we have it in the budget, we have the money, let's just spend it. I don't think that's the way to go about it, especially when on a default budget.
Right, well, you know, me mentioning it, the next question would be, can we do it? So that's why I had mentioned that there is money in the budget to do that.
Because when we put
We
this
can
budget.
move money around in the budget. There's money that wasn't spent this year. That can be transferred to contingency
Mhm.
to pay for this project.
But, like I said, when we did this budget last year, the selectmen, you being one of them, sat there and said, there's not an extra dollar in this budget. And we ended up not having that budget. We had it in a budget that the default with less money.
Yep, but
So-
as the year went on,
So I think,
things evolved that evolved
I
that
don't-
that enable us to have that money in there.
because I don't think we've spent any money out of contingency, if I'm not mistaken.
The-
I was just looking for
um, that the, I'm trying to remember the definition of contingency.
unexpected.
Well, there's unexpected, and an additional sense that you have to do it.
Correct.
So I don't know whether.
So again, we had air quality test done here, and the rug was mentioned.
Mhm.
They have it listed
Don't
as,
forget, this is our town hall too.
they have it listed as unanticipated expenses.
Unanticipated,
Okay, which
yeah,
is
oh,
basically
okay. That-
Same thing.
Yeah, I remember there was discussion on how to slice the vocabulary to get the meaning.
And that line
across.
exists for these purposes, but they have to be justified, obviously.
Okay. I will switch gears slightly and put my CIP planning board hat on, which is when the planning board, which has been designated as the CIP committee, gets done, they have been using a capital improvement figure of $25,000 or higher as the cut-in number. And the thinking, I personally don't agree with that, but it does not bother me one way or the other. I would have gone for 20. So an additional warrant has the problem of diluting the belief that the CIP is going to be level-funded warrant expenses. And it starts, that could start the back and forth jockeying of one department against another, which we have been gloriously not able to, we have avoided. So if it goes for government buildings, and the selectmen have bottom line control, then it can be transferred to government buildings. If it goes as a warrant, then the selectmen or citizens warrant could take care of it. And if it's contingency, we need to get the definition of contingency and you know, allocate the money that way. You had another point you wanted
The
to
big
make, Stan.
fear of the warrant is the no means no law.
Right. That means it'll never be replaced. 'cause
Right,
they-
and that.
The language will say no.
As you
Right.
know, that's not a gray area. That's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just showing the options.
Mm.
The option that I would, as a member of this board, accept would be that as they word it, unanticipated expenses, only once it's proven that it is a health hazard. Okay?
Mm.
That's my point, what I'm trying to get across. I mean, because people mentioned last night, want to vote on it. Well, the no means no is very strict. And I don't know if we want to enter that.
Yeah.
If it is a need, then you're really
Yeah.
rolling the dice.
Yeah, and then it would also still fall under the
Yeah.
the executive authority of the selectmen. Doug, you had something like that with Bob Adams was talking about. There was a carpeting or tile issue, and you were redoing carpeting.
We had the same problem you had. We are getting rid of our carpet because it's difficult to clean, and for the same reasons, those lines that I think for the hardwood floor or laminate, it has a longer life than carpet does.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
issue
Okay.
that we've had.
Anything else on selectmen?
And I'm not opposed to putting carpet, it's just the general consensus was no more, they'd rather not see another carpet here.
Yeah. That, carpet.
I'm talking to the people who work in this building.
Mm.
This is their place of work, so
Yeah,
that's
one
where I
thing
got
to
my
consider.
consensus.
Choosing between laminate or hardwood versus carpeting is the noise.
I'm sorry?
The noise.
That yes.
If you choose hardwood or a hard floor surface,
Yeah,
the noise echoes when you walk more than if you had carpeting or
yeah,
vinyl.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
that's something you may want to consider.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is
Wendy's restaurants
This
used to
is
be much
much.
quieter,
No, it's closed.
and they've gone to that hard
Yeah.
tile floor, and they had to go put in rubber feet on the chairs because every time you moved
Yeah.
a chair, it was like chalk on the blackboard.
Alright.
Okay, does that beat that carpet enough?
yeah, it's all done.
Anything else on for the town? Mr. Shute.
Well, we have a new principal at MES, F. John Safina.
Would you say his name again?
F. John Safina,
Spell it.
Safina. Okay. And his starting salary is $84,000, which is $2,674 less than the old principal, which is leaving. Okay, we got a new superintendent, Erwin H. Sussman. Okay, I don't remember the salary. Was going to be dealing with his benefits tomorrow night. We're looking for a new, our MES assistant principal has resigned. So we're looking for, taking applications for an assistant principal. And I went to Somersworth with Mr. Tercey and talked to the superintendent down there, and what we checked on is the contracting out all our SAU services with them, and we close our office completely. We have no one here, and they do all our services. At present, we're waiting for an estimate from them. But also on the same issue, we're going to be working on our own budget for SAU 64, not for this coming year, but for the following year, when we separate from Wakefield, which will be June 30th, 2017. And it looks like the building that we'll be moving into will be the Damon House. All right, but that building does need some work. They're going to empty it this summer. It's going to be empty, and it does need some floor work, and that money will probably come out of the renovation fund.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other questions?
Would the chair of the school board be willing to pat himself on the back for the work he's doing cutting brush?
I don't know about that. He's not done.
I guess I have one question. Is there still anyone addressing the idea of possibly sending the children to another school district?
Yes, that was discussed when we went to Somersworth, and it was talked about.
So
But-
you getting numbers on that too, or?
No, what we need to do, that survey was done back 2009, and that was the feeling of the people to do it, send them out, but nothing happened to it. So more than likely, we're gonna do that again, that survey again with the townspeople, asking them what they wanna do. Do they wanna repair Classic Newt, put a second edition on the high school, or send the kids out? So we're leaning toward a survey, which the voters will have an option to have their feelings or votes made known to the voters.
Are they gonna have the information in front of them with the cost of all three options?
Well, basically, we got the cost of the options we did get it in the past from Summersworth. There is a binder at the library. That study had already been done, but might have to do it again.
Okay, but the cost for renovations or the
Yeah,
second
the
floor?
cost roughly to do Classic New, we figured about $2 million. All right. And if you were at the Harriman report, that information there was a meeting with the Harriman report, and an estimate to put the second edition onto the high school, I think roughly was a minimum of $4 million. And that was from the Harriman report. Now, we did have the figures for sending the kids out when we did that last report. And because Summersworth came in and gave us a talk, and we decided at that time not to do it.
I need that new principal's name again. Is it
Frank,
Frank?
John, SAF,
Yeah.
INA. He should start July 1st.
Is that just
Safina.
one F or two?
Safina.
Safina, two Fs or
One F.
one F?
Should we assume he likes to go by John, or he's abbreviating his first name?
Yeah, I think you can call him John. You don't care.
Yes.
And one more. I new superintendent,
Irwin, IRWIN,
Irwin.
H, Sussman. SUSS. I think it's MAN or MEN. I can't remember right now.
F as in Frank?
No, that's us.
S,
Sussman.
Sussman.
Okay. Now, you got somebody that resigned from MES. I'm trying to all write this.
Oh,
up.
the assistant principal resigns her position. She got a job someplace else. And their applications are being accepted now, and they gotta be gone through.
Was it Jocelyn Young?
Correct, yeah,
Is it Jocelyn Young?
resigned.
Okay.
I think I'm all set.
So, and when, have you started still early to close out the books, or are you?
No, we're not. You won't get your books closed down until October.
Well, wrong phrase.
Well, I think we're down, I think I had to figure what we had left. I think it was $154,000, if my memory serves me right. We basically put a freeze on the budget.
Mm-hmm.
Some things we did left for graduation and field trips and stuff like that.
That includes all your monies that you have commitments for?
They're saying, yes, yeah, that should be about what's left. I remember, I didn't bring that figure. It's on home on the table.
Okay.
The money's on the table at all?
No, my
Oh.
paperwork. Not-
Then, any other questions,
So
comments?
the addition on
Mike?
top of the high school,
Yes.
that building was designed
Yes, it
for that
was.
second floor.
Yes, it was.
In anticipation for growth.
I think that they did.
Because right now, is it because of growth, or is it because of the old Newt building being
The deterioration?
the amount of deterioration in that building?
But
What is the reason for them looking at that?
We spent a total of $74,000 on airman reports. And they still wanted to do a couple more.
Yeah,
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they did, because they wanted to do, that building needs a lot of work.
Yep, yep.
And if it isn't, it's not the correct size for the amount of students that are in them,
Yeah.
so.
So it's
and
growth.
They got issues with, no, not growth. Our growth is going down.
Yeah.
We're down, we've gone down in our population in students, we're down to about 543 or 45 now, compared to well over 600.
So what is the initial push for the second floor?
I'm not asking for the second floor to be done.
No.
I don't think it needs to be done, that's
Just
my
an
You
option.
said you had a quote on it, right? I
Well, a
think.
rough quote, yeah.
Yeah,
Every option was looked at.
yeah.
That isn't gonna be my decision. It's gonna be your decision where this goes.
Right.
As
I'm
our,
just giving you rough figures.
yeah,
I
because
just want to know where it came from, that's all.
when it was 2005, I think?
Nine, they did that study about sending the,
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember, the years go faster. It was about 2005 when the addition, the new.
I don't have the date on that.
That, anyway, when that was done, whatever the real year turns out to be, it is so much cheaper to put in provision for the second floor, and the boiler is presently loafing because it was designed with the capacity to accept the second floor, similar to the modular expansion that the fire station is planning.
That bond for that ISCO runs out in 2020. And I think that payment's about, about $253,000
Per year.
per year. But the principal's going down. I didn't bring those figures with me.
Yeah, and we are right behind Maine for the aging age of our population, and depending on which report you read, there are hot spots and cold spots for student population. Some areas are still going up, some are holding steady, and some are declining. And meanwhile, the access to the technology of education does not get cheaper, so you can't win for losing. Anything else from the school district side, either comments or questions from the committee? New business. That any did. Dennis, did you got a reasonable answer for your question regarding the costs? Stan, you have information but not agreement for the
Not
Barron
unusual.
brothers. No, I was going to say. So what's changed? But at least it gives a better sense of where the focus of the discussion should be. The total volume of the number of people and the number of times that they use it, and the selectmen's real concern that we not wind up with a, why don't I just slip this quart box of old asbestos roofing cement in with my leaves for the landfill. Okay, nothing else under new business. Housekeeping, and Stan was on this last month when he asked, are we going to take July off? And
At this point, I don't see why we shouldn't. I mean, there's nothing that's really pushing.
okay.
I mean, we're gonna get into the heavy months soon enough.
Mhm.
And we don't have a recording clerk to begin with, so maybe we'll have one by the time we come back in October.
Okay. Yes. Right now, Caitlin is the only person who is new to the board. You are an old timer and next in line but Dennis has been following us, and Dennis comes to meetings and Dennis reads. Sorry to throw 3 compliments at you at once, but
you won't be alive.
but, and Tom, you're next in line to be vice chair, right?
Oh, I thought it was Maureen.
Maureen was here before I was.
Yep. Maureen is
And
out of
she's closer
discussion.
to the vice chair position
So
over there.
my
Negatory.
back when I did not know what was happening and who was coming on board, I was thinking of having an informal workshop meeting of the budget committee to bring up in a free flowing free-form discussion, exactly the kind of points that you had regarding barons, a dialogue with Caitlin and Dennis as new members, and a review of some of the issues of the budget workbook, just for where we are before September hits us. As things stand now, Caitlin, my impression is that Caitlin does financial analysis work to begin with. I don't know why I have that. I don't remember reading her comments, but she is doing something like that at, I believe, the Naval Yard, or I may be completely wrong. Are you comfortable waiting until August, or is there anything you would like to?
August sounds fine.
August, fine. Anybody desperate to be here in July, Doug?
No, I just have one thing I did forget to tell everybody is that we have a tentative vacancy on the school board. If anybody's interested, be appointed. Your letter of intent, turn it into the SAU office.
Except 3 of us can't do it here on this board.
Huh?
Can't have 2 people. It's the same thing we ran into with the water district. Selectmen, schools, and water district can't have 2 people on this board, so.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure
Miss-
where it is on the agenda. I'm going to be asking for some reports. I'd like to see last year's expenditure report, the 2015, the final report, and also the revenues, the final revenues for 2015.
For which?
Town and school?
For town and
The school's not done yet. I'm
Right.
hoping I'll get one from them, but
okay.
Mike, I guess I direct that to you.
Yep, you can see Kathy. Kathy will pop them right out for you.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to wait till, for this board to get together for that.
Did you say Kathy?
Kathy Wallingford, she's been helping the board kind of run this office here. That would be the duty of the TA, to get you those reports.
Well,
But she's not here, we don't have one right now.
Oh,
And then, by the way, she won't be starting.
Oh.
The latest date
Oh.
that she would be able to start would be the middle of August.
Because she's
If
giving,
she can sum up a lot of her business, she might start earlier.
and she's giving good and constructive notice to
It's worth waiting for.
Ashland.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, but in the past, we've had a policy that everything went through the chair. So,
Correct.
So for Bob or myself or anyone to go right to Kathy is not to what our policy is.
That
It's true.
I've probably said it enough times, but everybody into the sandbox together and play nice.
Well, yeah,
but
so
that-
in
that
light
it
of
is-
us having no TA, things being all not running real well, we got a spoke missing in the wheel, if you will.
Mhm.
Would it be all right with the board for Bob to go directly to Kathy?
As a
It-
vice chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
With
I
the-
agree with Stan. The
Mm.
chair is the one that controlling factor.
But with that said, if anyone does request something, everyone should get the same thing.
Oh,
that-
So no one's seeing something that someone else isn't
Okay.
seeing.
One, that I try not to play any severely practicing Catholic can take offense. I try not to play a game of papal ring as chair of the committee. Secondly, I don't want to kill trees unnecessarily. Thirdly, as long as no one feels left out of the loop and no one feels they're being sandbagged by a request for information, that is fine with me. The question I have is the content and thickness and detail of the final expenditure report. I don't know what that is. Are you familiar with it, Mike?
The end of the year expenditure?
Yeah.
What is this?
It's the same thing as that.
It's about that, oh, okay.
Same
Well,
thing as
Mr.
that.
Chairman, everybody except yourself probably has an email address.
Yeah.
So
I,
I don't think anyone's opposed to receiving by way of
CC,
electronic.
yeah.
right, and, so then, for the minutes, there is the consensus of the board and the agreement of the chair that Bob Carrier will obtain from the town the
14.
2014?
Oh, 15, sorry,
20
2015. Yeah.
The 2015 final expenditure report, which should be what, about 6 pages?
It'd be the same as we got right
Yeah,
now.
on
probably
both
closer to
sides,
10.
Yeah,
Yeah, both.
okay. No, you know,
Not that.
including what additional information do you want?
Also the revenues as well.
And the total revenues
Total revenues.
for that year.
I don't know.
And
No, right.
when that
I think it's gonna be
information becomes available from the school board, Bob will request that. And would you please bring that to the meeting and discuss your findings each time with the budget committee? And I think, and if you are getting, the other thing we should talk about under housekeeping and new business is the email policy. We do not presently have the recording secretary, and the town is particularly interested that we don't wind up being an electronic quorum and doing the business of the budget committee when we're not holding an open, audible, visible meeting. That it sure hasn't happened with me as chair. But if you have something that is a question, it should not be done in what is called daisy chain, and it should not be done, I think the phrase that you used last night, reply all.
Right.
And those are the two things.
Mr. Chairman, there's going to be more reports. That's why sometimes I've wondered why I come here, because we need to see the revolving fund. And I'd like to see the capital reserve, because the CIP is going to be tied into that somewhere along the line.
That
The revolving fund, my main concern right now is the ambulance. The last time I saw it, there was more going out than coming in, and that's supposed to be a self-supporting.
Yeah, but Mr. Chairman, remember, a lot of revolving accounts and a lot of warrant article monies are put in at the end of the year.
Yes, I do.
So you're not going to see a true monetary value until the contributions are done.
that
Okay, so are you asking me maybe not, we shouldn't get it?
I think you're a little early for asking for that.
Well, you said, maybe so. But I guess, all right. I'm not gonna waste my time with this.
no, don't.
It's just-
Peace.
Okay, because
That-
if you feel that way, then there's no sense in me going into
Unless
this.
you want to cross-reference, Bob, and go look at the warrant articles and see how much people voted to put in each one, then you can get more of a handle on what's going in there.
Now, Chief Marique is an elected officer.
Correct.
As such, he is not a department head in the same way that Brian or Kathy is. There has been due to general bad luck, poor timing, historically a problem with getting monies transferred properly into the Conservation Commission and into the ambulance. My suggestion is that you have a conversation with Nick and as to what he sees as the billing cycle, what Stan is saying about the ups and downs and the review of the year, where he sees like hotspots and slow pay as
Make a
issues.
suggestion?
Yep.
Can we invite them to our next meeting?
As to the degree that that's useful, he is free to come and he can speak freely to it. Regarding the transfer station and the revolving funds for that would be under the purview of the selectmen who direct the town administrator who has review of those funds, complicated by the elective office nature of the DPW. So that's, again, I don't know whether those are funds that come due at the end of the year.
They do come in quarterly.
Yeah, but I think that from what Mike is saying, Kathy should be able, if she's a clever computer person, to give you a snapshot, January 1st, June 30th, like January 1st, April 30th, June 30th, September 30th, for those funds, pulling them from the expenditure reports. So basically,
Is this something that could possibly wait till August? I mean, and maybe even just before that? Because don't forget now, Kathy's doing her best to help us out here, but she has a job to do, so anything extra she's doing, her job is
Yeah.
being sacrificed.
Does-
Let me make it easier. I withdraw any requests, okay? I withdraw
Well,
requests. I think it would be maybe, I don't think anybody's really interested in seeing it.
that
You
what-
would-
No, I disagree with you on that.
Well, the thing is, Dan, I want to see how much came back, because I know it says in the book is not correct, because that stops in midway in December.
But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, the contributions from the town is
Yeah.
certain article money normally
Yeah.
isn't put into the last tax collection of the year.
Yeah.
So they don't have to pull TANs to cover that.
Right.
So you're really not seeing, unless you want to go back and do the research, see what the people voted in, you're not seeing how much is really going in that account until, if you're looking at a per journal, you're not going to see it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let
I think we'll see it in time.
the
Doesn't have to be done right away, Mike.
the chair will wrap his little knuckle on the table. How about the words I wrote down earlier are
I quit?
no. No, I keep wondering whether three of a kind beat two pair. Is necessary and prudent. And so you have to have both of them together to get the fair budget. When we come back in August, our new town administrator is going to be on the job. September is coming. The selectmen, by the end of September, will be getting the first feedback from the department heads. The school district will know where they stand more in terms of the interim superintendent and any partnering of school districts. And by then, a question of if we are putting, to use my simple math, if we are putting $100 into a revolving fund, and we know that 50 has gone out, and there's $75 left in it, I want to know what that other $25 is.
Come
But-
out quarterly, what it
but-
is, they've been reconciled.
Yes.
Okay, that's what you see as a
Yeah,
quarterly one,
right.
reconciled, but you're not gonna see,
And so the deal is that other $25 is assigned to a different area, and I agree.
well,
It can't hurt.
Well,
I think it's premature. I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong to want the information.
just to see, and there's a police detail, they've been able to take money out of there to reduce their budgets. And I just wanna keep an eye on what's in there, cause this might have to happen again.
Yep.
I mean,
Then,
that's the only thing. You know, I told you I was detailed and.
that we are, what are we? We are a quarter after 7. Any other points on any topic, Stan?
Motion to adjourn?
Well, right. Boy, you got a good cue for that. No. Dennis, anything else?
No, I'm good now, thank you.
Okay. Doug? Tom?
I'll second his motion.
But, not yet. Bob?
All set.
All in
Maureen?
favor, aye.
Since Nick came here.
No, I'm all set.
Spoken like a true vice chair. Mike? Okay. Chair accepts the motion to adjourn. All in favor, stand up and
Who
leave.
seconded it?
Motion by
I made the
Stan,
motion.
second
You
by
did?
Tom,
Everyone have a happy 4th of July.
Yep.
and a happy 4th of July.
Who did it second anyway? Did you- was it Tom?
Second was Tom.
Tom, okay.
Thank you for your time, thank you for your patience, thank you for making, Doug, thank you for making Bob legal.
Both.
Legal.